everybody. It's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I am here for this week's episode of the Challenge 37. What did I call this video? I'm over all these damn puzzles. I said I ain't never seen so many puzzles on the challenge to save my life. Ultimately, this was a good episode for me. I'm really excited that we're finally at TJ's final. Next week will be the last episode of the challenge. We will get the winner. The trio will be back next Thursday night, and we will discuss the winner of the season and also the winner of the fantasy season. And I could tell y'all right now, it's not looking too good for your girl, but we still got this final. I think if you win the final, you have the person who wins the final. I think we get like 25 points. So fingers crossed. All I have left is Tori and Kyle. Fingers crossed. But let's get into this week's episode. Hey Michelle. Hey everybody out there in the chat. So we finally see that TJ said 2 more people have to go home. They did a vote for the females first. Hey Miguel, I know you waiting. To get into this week's episode, Miguel. I want to say this off top. I don't understand how when it was time for the men to vote, it was like, I can't vote for anybody with a rookie standing right there, and everybody votes for Emmanuel. And I'm going to get to Tori in a second, because I'm going to read Tori real quick. But when it got down to the female vote, it was like, oh, I don't want to run a final with Amanda, but Emmy is sitting right there. Like, Emmy didn't even get one vote. The votes were on Amanda and Tori. So I'm like, how the hell did we go from who we want to run a final with? Because if we talking about who we want to run a final with, Devin should have been gone, to, oh, I can't vote for a vet. We got to vote out a rookie. The hypocrisy right there. Let me see. You said this was a bullshit. The eliminations were bullshit. How the hell has Nani gone to back-to-back finals? Because she had a girlfriend with her this season, and she was protected. That's how. I don't understand. Let's get to Amanda real quick. Amanda, you don't know what the scenario is going to be. How do you not call out Nani? She's the next person closest to your size. Now, I feel like even with that little football in the vase, whatever they called it, with that little challenge, I still feel like Nani would have rocked Amanda. Just because I think Nani is stronger than Amanda and a little bit faster. But Amanda shouldn't even been down there. Right, Michelle. What happened to Emmy? Like, nobody even looked at Emmy. But anyway, I agree, Eric. It was dumb for her not to pick Nani. And she's talking about, oh, I thought it might have been a puzzle. So, how I feel like if I was in production, how I would have done it, I would have definitely had them vote, because now Amanda doesn't even get to vote on the guy's side. I would have had the vote go down. We're going to vote for the girls. We're going to vote for the guys. After we vote for both, you pick who you calling out. Then after the call out, you tell them what elimination they have. Because I feel like a lot of people voted for Emmanuel because they thought maybe the what do they call those? Elimination would have been the same. Like, maybe if it's football, let's put Emmanuel down there, because if we put Devin down there, he going home. And why does everybody want to save Devin? Matter of fact, I hope CT, Tori, Emmy, I hope y'all ass lose next week, because y'all want to save Devin so bad, and you see he gassed out. But let's get to all the fucking puzzles. And I'm sorry for cussing so much this review, but that kind of pissed me off, because I knew it. And I know y'all watch. I said this last week and a week before. I said whenever Devin hits that proving ground, they're going to give him a puzzle. I knew it. I called it weeks ago. I called it all season. I don't know why they are favoring Devin. Right, Marlon. It was like 10 puzzles this episode alone. 10 puzzles. I was like, this shit, I could look at my cell phone and do my own puzzles if I just want to watch people do puzzles. The challenge has never been this puzzle heavy. Ever. Ever. And the fact that they put them puzzles down there for Devin, and I think they still told him how to solve it, miss me with it. Now, before we get into the comments, I want to read Tori real quick. Because y'all tell me if I heard right or wrong. I recall on the Amanda vote, Tori looked at Nelson and was like, just go ahead and vote for me because Amanda going in anyway. And so Nelson was like, okay, Tori. Because Nelson could have said Emmy. I don't know why he didn't say Emmy. But anyway, I guess he didn't want to rock the vote because the guys, people had to vote for him next. And you can't tell me production didn't step in. And I'm willing to bet money. Production saved Nelson last week and this week. They said it ain't gonna be no all-white final over here. Nelson stays. Nelson stays. Ain't nobody voting in Nelson. Y'all done got rid of every other black person this season. We had about 20 of them. Y'all done voted all the black people out. Nelson stays. I'm telling you. Because you can't tell me those people care about Nelson that much to be like, it's a rookie over there. They ain't give a damn about a rookie when it was time for Corey to go in. They didn't give a damn about the 2-3 rookies that were still in the game when it was time for Corey to go in 2 times. So, miss me with the bullshit production. I see straight through you. But back to Tori. So, when they come around and vote for the guys, Tori was like, well, I'm going to vote for Nelson because you voted for me. And I'm like, bitch, you told him to vote for you. Not, did I hear that right? Tori told Nelson, just go ahead and vote for me, Amanda going in anyway. But then you get Emmanuel voted in. You stand up there and be like, but don't vote in, don't call out Devin. And I would Nelson like, well, who else you going to call out if we ain't calling out Devin? Who you want him to call out? Tori wanted them to call out Nelson, so why not rock the vote for Nelson in the first place? And then, is Tori a little bit touched in the head? Because how you want to save Devin, don't call out my boy Devin, your best friend of one season. Like last season, y'all hated each other, but this season, y'all best friends. Whatever. Don't call him out, but then when it's time to do the elimination, you want to give your boyfriend the answers to the puzzle. So I'm like, Tori, make up your mind because I was over it. I want to come to the TV and slap fire in Tori. I'm like, what are you doing? Don't vote in Devin, but let me help you beat Devin. I'm like, girl, make up your mind. You would have done best just sitting there, sit down, turn your back to the puzzles, and keep it moving. You already knew production was going to save Devin. I was hoping Emmanuel could pull it out. And matter of fact, I was hoping Tori would have went ahead and just told him the answer. But let's get into the comments before I continue to drag this episode. So, Miguel, you want to know why is Amanda calling Nani a friend when the girl was just yelling at her a couple of episodes ago? Agreed. I mean, when did Amanda become anyone's friend outside of Ashley and the Lavender Girls? So I wouldn't have had no loyalty to Nani. I would have definitely put Nani ass in there. And let's talk about Tori. Everybody on Twitter, Tori just did the backpack with Amanda. She just carried Amanda like CT. And I said, hold up. We're not going to compare apples to oranges. CT snatched up Bananas, who is a man who was probably equally as heavy and muscular as him. That's what made that amazing. You snatching up Amanda, who is at least half your size, this big, this much shorter than you. You got way more muscle mass. You snatching up Amanda is like what we expect you to do. And how can you snatch up Amanda, but you couldn't snatch down them balls last season with Anissa? You got all the leg strength this season. It's a shame, you all. Like, this final, I really don't have anybody that I'm rooting for. I really don't care who wins. They put that guy's puzzle for Devin and CT. I agree. Production really protecting Devin with all these puzzles. Facts. Like, we ain't never seen this many damn puzzles in the final. Matter of fact, let me tell you how ABC elementary this final is. We get to the final, because I don't want to talk about none of the bullshit they was doing in the house. Nelson in the ice bag talking about his mama nail shop, and I definitely hit the fast forward when they flashback Nani and KC. So I don't want to talk about none of that. Let's go straight over here to the final. Not only is it a puzzle to start the final, but CT, who has run numerous finals, just ran one last season, claims he forgot to flip his puzzle over. So everybody there cheating off of CT's puzzle. The one standing right next to CT, Nani, standing right next to CT, she can't even cheat right. That was my tweet. I said, Nani, how are you cheating and still losing, coming in last? The answer key is right next to you and you still in last. How elementary is that? But I feel like if CT wouldn't left the cheat code there, everybody would have came. He probably would. The final probably still be going on right now. But after that, all you do is run up a little hill. Now they're running up the rocks. That looked hard because Nelson caught up. Where am I getting it out of order? Yeah, they just had to run to the helicopter. Nelson came in third, which was amazing. I didn't expect Nelson to get that puzzle, but I think he cheated. So after that, we jumping into the lake, but then we got the underwater jet skis. TJ, what kind of final is this where they get a helpmate? If it's a swim, it's a swim. I've seen these people have to swim 3-4 miles in finals, but you telling me now they just got to swim a little bit to the underwater jet ski? I'm like, this the ABCD elementary final. This one don't even count. If next week don't get a little bit harder, this one don't even count. But let's go through the I done deleted the comments. Let me go back through the comments. W team, no, I guess I would like to see Nelson win. I guess Nelson not gonna win unless there's no more puzzles. Like, unless this was the episode of puzzles and the rest of the final is how the final should be, where they got to eat something nasty, carry stuff, and do carnival games, like those kind of finals, and run. Get your asses to running. But if the final is the way it's structured right now, where every checkpoint is a puzzle, because you telling me Nelson, they get to the telephone cord puzzle, Devin gets it like that, and now he out first and get to choose his color first. They really want Nelson, or whatever his name is, Devin, to win. Tori was ridiculous. Tori finally won elimination after 3 seasons. I guess it has been 3 seasons. She has been going home. I'm so ready to see Nani Shade as lose this final and have her horse. I should have read this one first. And have her horse teeth finished before her. Well, one thing I can say, Zuda, she won no other final, so history will repeat. I'll be shocked if Nani wins. Tori was stupid by why is Nelson protecting Devin of all people? What was Devin do anything for Nelson? Right. Devin hasn't done anything for Nelson all season. I'm telling you, and I don't like to put race into everything, but I don't see how Nelson and Corey come as a package. If you already gunning for Corey, Logan is already all season gunning for Corey and Nelson, while all of a sudden, when there's no other brown people to look at, Nelson's name doesn't come up. Nelson doesn't have a friend in that house, but he's safe because he's a vet that you never worked with before. Miss me with it. Fact is, more black people them white this season, and they all gone. That's a fact. This season was very diverse. They could have done a lot of things. That's why I say black people don't all get along and they don't all work together. But you can't tell me production didn't tell them no whites only finals. And I don't mean it to sound like that, but I just feel like we're in an age of time. They don't want no blowback. Nelson is protected because he's the last brown person on the show. And miss me with Nani and Casey being people of color. We talking about black people. It's ridiculous that Tori kept saying don't vote for Devin. Are they screwing? Because why she care about Devin so much? And when Nelly was in the bath, they were besties again. Right. That's why I fast forward through all of that. Right? The same fucking boy toy who she probably dropped by now. You talking about Emmanuel? See, Emmanuel live in Romania, and it's hard to do booty calls to Romania. So that was just something for Tori to do on the show. Casey and Nani was dead last at every checkpoint. And everybody talking about all this shit with Casey. I told y'all a long time ago, Casey isn't good at puzzles. Casey isn't an all-around finalist. Casey has seen every final since she's been on this show. Casey always makes the final, but she never wins anything because she's not all around good. All Casey can do is hit you with a shoulder drop in a hall brawl. She's strong. She could probably pole wrestle your ass. But I guarantee you, if there was some 3 puzzles down there, Casey would be at the house. So Tori talking about she still got it. No, you don't. You just went against a little person. Facts. And that's what Tori wants every season. She always wants to go against an Amanda type. The one time she had to pull a basket of balls over to beat her girlfriend Anissa, she couldn't do it. But with Amanda, she can lift her up and put her on her hip and carry her like a toddler. I really am not rooting for anybody. I really don't care who wins. Matter of fact, I just want CT to win so everyone can look like an idiot for not trying to vote him out. Corey L. carrying 3 people in the first elimination was more impressive than Tori Hope. Facts. Facts. Nani was cheating and still came in last. That was the tweet of the night. How are you? How are you cheating and still coming in last? Nani needs to rethink her entire challenge career if she's cheating and still coming in last. Facts. Do you think Nani will retire? I wonder. They're doing Nelly dirty. He's the only one that got athleticism and beat CT up the handicap. Yeah. That's why I'm like, how many fucking puzzles are they going to do? Because it's clear that Nelson can outrun everybody out there. And I think Nelson has the endurance to keep up that pace. But Nelson isn't going to outbeat CT and Devin in puzzles. So is every checkpoint going to be a puzzle? Because we've never seen that in the past. They usually have one good puzzle. Then they got to eat something nasty. Then you got to do some kind of carnival game. Then you got to lift something extremely heavy. Like, if every checkpoint is going to be a puzzle, then Devin and CT clearly are going to win. Clearly. And what's up with all these breaks? We've never seen a final where after every checkpoint, it looked like once they ran to that helicopter, it looked like they got a good hour break. And then when they got in the water to swim, they got to get underwater jet skis. And then once they got up to the next checkpoint, they got another break because they got to pick teams. This is the easiest final I've ever seen. TJ, you need to rethink and take this one back. Hey, Charles. Nelson is going to give CT a run for his money. There is a reason Nelson is the biggest person on the season poster. I hope so. I would love to see Nelson beat CT. I'm gonna come back to y'all comments, y'all. Let's go get through this, and then we'll go back through the comments and shade people. So we finally at the checkpoint where we realize they're gonna be right back in teams, which I personally hate. But the only reason I don't hate it is that there's gonna be some kind of elimination win next week, where people gonna have to go against each other. And the way they set up these teams, this is gonna be some good eliminations. So pretty much if you finished first, you were on, I forgot the colors, you're on Devin's team, because Devin came up, then CT, then Tori, then Emmy. Cool. They all on the team. I personally think you're only as strong as your weakest member, and Devin is gonna gas out. He couldn't even do that damn carry $1,000,000 challenge without gassing out. So Zuda, you said it best. They giving training wheels on the final. I should have tweeted that last night. That's a fact. The next team is Nelson and Kyle. Nelson has already proved he can outrun CT. Kyle is no punk in these finals. He ain't won one, but he's coming second plenty of times. And then they have Casey and Nani, which at least Casey and Nani can keep up the running. Now, I don't know who on that team is going to do the puzzles, because it seems like it's going to be a puzzle at every checkpoint. So that might be that team's downfall. But if the remainder of the final is just running, is like a normal final that we used to seeing, I think CT and Devin about to match up in this elimination next week. CT and Devin versus Tori and Emmy, and that's going to be a great elimination. Mind you, CT washes Devin. I would just love to see Devin go sit down at home. CT going to wash Devin next week. Tori versus Emmy, I want to see you put Emmy on your hip, Tori. Now, you put Emmy on your hip, I'll give you your flowers. You put Emmy on your hip, you get the flowers. But do we think production is going to let that team be the losing team? A Nelson versus Kyle would be a good elimination. The best elimination would be girlfriend against girlfriend, Casey versus Nani. I feel like if it's Casey versus Nani, Nani rolls over and let her girlfriend win. One, she knows she can't beat Casey, period. And two, she ain't going to want to embarrass herself. So that's the only thing I like about this new twist of the teams, is that sometime next week they're going to have to go against each other. And I don't think they know that yet. In the chat, of the two teams, which team do you think will win and be safe from this team elimination next week? You think it's going to be, I forgot the colors, the Devin side or the Nelson side? Who do you think is going to be safe next week? Now, we don't know how many puzzles they're going to give us next week, but I'm telling you, production, y'all should be shamed. Like, if you just want Devin to win the money, give him the money. Why we got to watch this on TV? If you, of all people, Devin, the layup of the season, why are you making us watch this? If you want it to be a puzzle, Devin wins, just give him the money. And we could have watched something else. Everybody's saying Devin team going to be safe. Now, do y'all think Devin team will be safe because they're the best team? Or do you think Devin team going to be safe because production wants CT and Devin to be safe? Everybody's saying CT side, but do you think CT side is the best? Production. Okay, it's production. So, production, obviously, yeah. So we're gonna get to watch next week Nelson versus Kyle. We just throwing it out there. We assuming. I don't know any spoilers, and I don't want to know no spoilers. But since we all think production is gonna step in, who do we have in Devin versus, not Devin, Nelson versus Kyle? Who do you have Nelson versus Kyle? I think I'm gonna go with dang, it really depends on the elimination because Kyle ain't no punk. I think that'd be a great elimination. And I want it to be physical because neither one of them are punks and neither one of them will back down. But I think Nelson is scrappier and stronger than Kyle. Everyone's saying Nelson. Okay, Nelson. Because Nani and Nelson and all the people bad at puzzles and running and KC are on the other team. I don't think so. Now all the people bad at puzzles are on one team. But when it comes to running, I think that team should watch the other team because you're only as strong as your weakest person. And Devin cannot run. And neither could Emmy. Devin and Emmy were last at all the checkpoints. So you're only as strong as your runners. But if it's all puzzles, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna read production next week if all I see is puzzles. Now I did see them having to carry some kind of rocket ship on their shoulder, but that don't mean nothing. Production is absolutely helping Devin the ultimate layup. Facts. And I don't understand why. Like, can't production read the room? Nobody likes Devin. He's a layup. Like, I'd rather them help Josh. If we're gonna I would rather see Josh there with KC over Devin. Because Devin has an arrogance about himself where if by chance, by any chance, he pulls off a win, which I don't think Devin can win, especially if production is saving CT and Devin. I'm assuming next week, if they're doing an elimination amongst the losing team, will they go back to individuals or partners? I think they might go back to partners. Whoever CT partners with is going to beat Devin and his partner. So I think they're doing all of this still for a CT win. Like, I still don't see how CT loses, but we shall see. They said CT team is better because who will gas out first, Nani or Devin? Devin. He gassed out first this week. If it wasn't for them underwater jetpacks, he'd probably still be in the middle of the lake trying to swim. So this isn't a true representation of who will gas out with which because they didn't have help along every way. And they get a little hour break between every checkpoint. Gone are the days when you in the middle of the desert on that bike back and forth in that loop for miles at a time with no break. And in between each loop of the desert, you got to do not a puzzle, but a true checkpoint. And there were no breaks. The only break you got was at nighttime when you had to stand up on some kind of log or dunk your face in the ice bath. Like, this isn't a true final. This isn't a true final. Kyle is so sneaky, he'll beat Devin. Or Nelson. Why am I calling Nelson Devin? Why am I doing that? I don't know. I want to see Tori versus Emmy, but production ain't going to let that happen. I would love to see a Tori versus Emmy. And I would love to see Tori go home. Everybody big up in Emmy. Oh, you the first rookie to make it to a final. You the only rookie this season. Miss me with it. Kyle will mess up the directions and lose. I could see that happening. Who is this that keeps putting this in my chat? It drives me crazy. It's some kind of spam thing. My goal for the weekend is to learn how to block people. How can I block this? I done messed it up already. Block user right there. Okay. Whoever you are, child, I don't want to see that spam stuff in my comments because that drives me crazy. So I figured that out. This final doesn't even have, right, it doesn't have any running. Oh, Miguel, you was mad at me for saying Josh. I equally hate both of them. Like, I really can't stand Devin, and Josh is on my last nerve. I've never had a season. Okay, that's all the comments. So we through with that. I've never had a season where there was no one that I cared to win. It's not even the fact that I think CT will win. I don't even want anybody to win. Like $1 million, I don't want anybody to win. After you see season after season where you have to go in and prove yourself, get the skull, to me, everybody in this final, none of these people even have to see elimination. Half of the people have Emmy earned her way. Devin was given his way with them 3 down puzzles. And to be honest, CT told him the cheat code for the second one. CT didn't see elimination. I don't think Nelson saw one. I guess Kyle earned his way. Tori, I guess, at the end, I guess. I mean, but KC, 90, like none of these people even had to see an elimination. And to me, that's not good gameplay because this game was set up for people not to see eliminations. It was set up for a strong alliance to bulldoze through the game. And that's exactly what happened. Zuda, you said throw this whole season in the trash. Act like it never happened. I agree. And for 38, y'all have to do better. You said it. You said exactly what I was thinking, Marlon. 38, they need to bring the skulls back. I need the skulls to come back, and I need people to at least go in and prove yourself once. Someone called Jenny so she can come whoop Tori's ass. The only thing, I think Jenny is a great competitor. I think she could whoop up on Tori and KC, but the underlayer of Jenny is scary. Jenny not that girl. Jenny not the girl that's about to call people out, whip up some kind of strategy. If you vote her in, she might do what she got to do in elimination. But Jenny isn't going to give us anything but the fright factor. Like, and I think it'll also be a situation where nobody wants to go in against Jenny. But at least bring somebody. It's like we should get $1 million for having to watch. I should get a little bit for having a review because I find joy in reviewing. But this is, if it wasn't for the trio and keeping up with the fantasy scores, I probably wouldn't even review this season. I probably wouldn't. This shit was hard. Please don't let Emmy win. I can't take hearing about her mother, grandmother in Romania. I fast forward through the house talk. I didn't care about none of people reasons why they need $1 million. I need $1 million. I'm sure all of y'all in the chat could think of a good reason for $1 million. And I ain't doing it just to buy my mama a nail shop. I'm doing it because I need $1 million. Yes, I'm gonna break everybody off a little bit, but I need the money. So why do we have to hear this? But for real, I said the same thing. I hate CT. I don't hate CT. But I want to see him win after being protected by the Vet Alliance. Then he beats every single one of them. I mean, if somebody wins this final over CT, they deserve it, and I'll give them props. But I don't see anybody else winning this but him. Right, Michelle? Always crying. We get it. Who always crying? Oh, Jenny. Yeah, that's Jenny. I hope we talking about Jenny. Let's hope the skulls are back. That's what I want to say too. Like, this final 8 proved they actually need skulls. Like 6 to 8 haven't gone into elimination the whole season. Agreed. Production wanted to punish us because people were complaining last season about the skulls. Not me. Being too predictable, and they answered, and now look what happened. I never complained about the skulls. The only thing I said about the skulls is that it should be some kind of purge for the skulls. I don't like how every season everyone gets the opportunity to earn one. It should be some point, because what it turns into is the vets still being scared to go in into the end, and then they save the layups for the end so they can just go in and get their skull against the layups. That's how Amber B got to the final, because it wasn't nothing but the layups at the end. So I never hated on the skull twist. I just wish, if it's 10 skulls, let's do them 10 skulls. And okay, this is the last skull. Y'all asses got to go home. You should have went in earlier. I don't know what to tell you. But that's the only thing I hated. I already read that. I fast forward through most of it. Right. All that house talk, hit the fast forward. Oh, y'all talking about Emmy crying. Emmy aggravated my soul last night with all that crying. I mean, she cried at every step of the final. And I'm like, girl, this is why you should have went home. To me, Emmy needs to go against a competitor. All her eliminations were against layups. Not necessarily. I think Esther was a good competitor, but I mean, Emmy is way bigger than Esther for the hall brawl. Big T was a layup. To be honest, I done forgot half of Emmy's eliminations. Right now, everyone gets a chance. Right. Like, they need to say, okay, everyone who doesn't have one, get out. That's what I want for the skull twist. I think that would make people like Corey that season, who was like, what did he do? He kept, I forgot what they call it, rogue. Like, every season he was rogue or whatever it was called last season. Like, it would force people to stop playing a scared game. Like, I gotta go into elimination. I need to do what I gotta do to go in early, because at some point it's not gonna be enough skulls. But oh well. I feel like the players that do more eliminations become better competitors because you get more practice. I agree. And you don't have that fear and that mental stress. You prepare to go down there, and you've earned your way because you won one. And another thing I would like to see is, if we're gonna let everybody get a skull, then it should be, once you get your skull, you safe and y'all fight it out. And then at the next point, everybody who got a skull will fight it out until we get to the finale or the final. They just need to rethink it. Like, I like the skull twist. They just need to perfect it, not take it all away. Miguel, you said you could have told me that this season was going to be trash when you saw the entire season spoilers. I ain't see the spoilers. I guess I'll warn you. Don't warn me next season if it's bad, to give you a heads up. Okay, I don't mind a heads up. Where do you find all these spoilers? I ain't gonna watch them. But tell me this, Miguel. I know you in the chat. I didn't see the spoilers, but what spoilers did you see to let you know this was going to be an awful season? Because I was kind of on I don't know about this fence when I saw Michaela, Kels, Coriel, when I saw all the heavy hitting rookies go out back to back to back, Tatcha, when I saw Josh kissing Esther, I was like, throw this season in the trash. So I want to know, like, what did you read? Okay, I see you say you saw it on Reddit, but what did you read on Reddit that was like, this is trash? Or did you just see who was in the final and you was like, And they shouldn't even tell them as well, because that shows who just wants to float by every season. And why Reddit get all the spoilers? Who telling? I thought they were under contract not to tell. You haven't watched yet. So sad I can't be live with y'all. But hey, Angie. Hey, Stacy. Wait to watch this later. Okay. You haven't watched the episode, or you haven't watched the live? Because I guess you're on the live. We kind of already talked about everything. We just going through the comments and talking shit in the comments, because it wasn't nothing to watch. I want to know what this reunion gonna be like. Like, I saw, I'm gonna get back to the comments in a second. I saw a tweet that said Amanda went off on somebody. I want to say, was it Josh or Devin? Like, Amanda snapped on somebody at the reunion. And I want to know what she's snapping for. Because, Amanda, you made it to the end of the game. You really didn't play a bad game. So I want to know what she's snapping on. I'll be spoiled for that. I don't mind being spoiled about the reunion. The whole season spoilers are on Google. Really? Maybe I just didn't look for them. I don't want to be spoiled because when we play fantasy, I want to draft my team fairly. And if I kind of know who's going to be at the end, then, I don't want to cheat myself out of the draft. Like, I want to really draft my team and play along by the history of the game. So that's why I don't want to be spoiled. But if you know why Amanda snapped off at the reunion, or you have any reunion tea, I don't mind hearing that. I should have known this is going to be a bad season when I didn't like the first trailer. Oh, the first trailer. But they never showed us. One thing people did point out with that first trailer, they were like, Michaela is nowhere in this trailer. And we should have known Michaela was going home first. That would have ruined the season for me. If I would have known before the season started that Michaela and Kels go home 1 and 2, I probably wouldn't have watched. Because those were the two people I wanted to see the most. So, oh, I heard who wins, Angie, but I won't spoil. Yeah, don't spoil it, Eric. Don't tell me. Because I want to be surprised when we do our fantasy thing next week. Okay, just don't spoil the final. It's like this account called Gamer something. I heard Gamer spoils Big Brother too. They talk about the challenge tea, including who goes home and wins before the season airs. Why haven't production shut them down? Who are they and why do they get to ruin the show? I feel like this reunion going to be fake as hell. All the fakest people with their egos, delusions, and big heads. I feel like I totally agree, Zuda. This reunion is going to be nothing but a big MTV aftermath on YouTube. Because I had to quit watching that stuff. It's going to be full of Devin thinking he all that. Tori thinking she all that. And I don't even know who wins. But it is going to be a lot of egos. I'm going to be rolling my eyes. But I'm going to watch it so I can review it. I want to see some hot shit talking. All the good people that we like are gone and aren't coming back. And a lot of the people that we like are overseas and they probably won't fly back for the reunion. Then I heard Corey not going to even be there to talk his hot shit. They said it was Tori and Michelle who she snapped at. Not Michelle from Survivor. What's she snapping at Michelle for? Tori was obvious for obvious reasons. What obvious reasons? Because they hugged and kissed before she left. And Michelle because of the Fessy drama. Oh, I forgot about the Fessy drama. Wait a minute. Angie, put your thinking cap on. Put my thinking cap on. So, Michelle was dating Emmanuel on the show. Then Tori picked him up. I want to know what Michelle has to say about that. But what really can she say? That wasn't your man. But Michelle and Fessy. So I remember Amanda's dating Fessy. What Michelle got to do with it? Because I want to say I saw in the Twitter verse that what did Michelle have a hookup with Fessy, but then Amanda was like, I got him back. I don't know, but I do want to see that. That sounds like some mess, and I'm always here for a little bit of mess. At the reunion, it was Tasha versus Esther, Amanda versus Tori, and KC versus Amber B. KC just want to have something to say. Tasha versus Esther. Why Tasha versus Esther? I want to see them team up, not fight. Amanda versus Tori. I'm more interested in this Amanda versus Michelle over Fessy. Is Fessy at the reunion? And KC versus Amber B. I thought Amber B's beef was with Fessy. They just want Tori to have some speaking parts, I guess. I think they are some kind of production contract if they are able to post the spoilers of things online and social media. I don't know. It's just going to be like the aftermath with the Emerald team. And I'm tired of the Emerald team. Like, ugh. I hope I can get through it. Is Michaela at the reunion? What Michaela gonna talk about? I don't know, but no, because I waited so long. I've seen Michaela on Survivor, and she needs to do the challenge. Michaela will be back. Michaela will be back. Michelle dated Fessy after the season. I thought so, but then Amanda got him back. That Michelle and Fessy seemed odd. Like, I don't know. Was that real or was that a little leak for the show? Like, Michelle, I like you, but I don't like you for the challenge. Like, Michelle doesn't have to come back. Or at least hooked up. Yeah, I know they hooked up. I'm here for it, for the mess. At least if you're gonna make me be bored all 19 episodes, at least give me some mess and some juiciness on the reunion. At least do that. They said it was backstage. So we probably won't even get to see. I'm telling y'all now, I love you all. But if the reunion is boring, I'm not reviewing it. I ain't going to want to talk about it if it's nothing to talk about. Like, if it's just the egos of the Emerald team, we can pass. We've already talked about that. But if some new interesting fights and tea drops and things we didn't know pop off at the reunion, we'll be back. So no promises. Check my Twitter. Go follow me on Kiss My Cheeks TV everywhere on Twitter. And I'll tweet if I'm reviewing it or not. You'll know if I'm reviewing it. You can tell when it's a good episode because I will be tweeting away. But if I'm bored, I'm just like, all these people were hanging out in Amsterdam, even though they claim to be enemies. There go another person with that damn spam in my chat. I don't know how. I know how to block y'all now. So you gone, Gallagher person. But I want to know how to block that spam out of the chat so people can't even post it. That drives me crazy. But everybody claims to be enemies. Just last season, Devin and Tori were enemies, and this season they best friends. So I don't get it. Also, if Amber B comes back, she needs to not work with Big Brother because they trashed her all season. Yes, 2 seasons in a row. But see, Amber B is the type of dummy to where she doesn't know how to make friends with anybody else. So she'll work with Big Brother and let them trash her all over again. So I wonder what Amber B has to say to KC, because at the end of the day, girl, that was your elimination to lose. Corey and Bettina didn't know what the hell they were doing. And y'all had such a huge lead. So I'm going to be bored if Amber talks. Agreed. Like, what is Amber B going to talk about? Like, girl, I don't care. Win the elimination. Like, girl, you should have learned from your first season. Right. And what's so sad is I can guarantee you, I will put money on it that next season, Amber B will work with them same people. Because who else she going to work with? But that's it, you all. It's 8:30. I've been on here. It hasn't been quite an hour, but I'm hungry. And the town I live in, and the stuff getting ready to close at 9 o'clock. So I need to order my dinner so I don't starve for the night. And I'm going to end it here. I had a great time. We talked about everything. Next week, TJ, please no more puzzles. I know you already filmed it, but I don't want to see no more puzzles next week or I'm going to be pissed. And I'm excited to see what happens next week. Like, even though this episode was kind of blah, I'm still excited to see who's going to go into elimination next week and who's going to win this thing. So let's hurry up and tie this season in a bow. Next week, you guys know the trio will be back. We will see the winner of the challenge And we will find out the winner of the fantasy amongst the trio. I think your girl is out of it, but we never know. We never know. It all depends on who wins. So the trio will be back next Thursday, and me and Charles. I don't know how we're gonna do this. That next Thursday is gonna be a huge night because it's the finale of the challenge and Survivor next Wednesday. I don't know. Me and Charles might push Survivor to Friday because when the trio gets together, we play games and we have us a good time. So I have to get with Charles. We might push Survivor to Friday just so we'll have enough time to have fun with the trio Thursday night. But you all know where to find all the information. I posted all on my YouTube channel and on Twitter. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video. Come back next Thursday night and we're going to have us another good time. Let's have drinks next week. Let's make margaritas or Stella Rose. Let's have drinks next week and have a good time for the finale of the challenge. And I will see you all later. Honestly, you said do Survivor Friday, All Stars Saturday. Miguel, I might take that advice. Miguel, because I forgot about All Stars too. We're going to work it out next week. I'll tell you all the schedule, but I will see you all later. You all have a good one. Good night.